Mama Adisa, I am your husband. I am your husband.
These were the words that froze the widow where she stood. It was not a dream or a ghost, but the voice of her goat. Yes, the same goat she had fed and cherished since her husband's death. 3 years had passed since that tragedy that she believed was due to illness. But that evening, that familiar voice shattered everything she thought she knew. In the small village of Noma, Adissa lived alone in a mud hut by the dusty path that led to the river. A widow with no children or close family, she owned only one black goat, Kobe. He was not like the others, docile, loyal, and always by her side. When Adissa went to fetch water, Kobe followed her. When she cooked, he stayed by the fire, staring into the flames as if in thought. The villagers often laugh. Adissa, do you talk to your animal like you would your son? She would answer with a sad smile. Kobe listens better than many humans. Every morning, Adissa would wake up before sunrise, sweep Sot's yard and talk to Kobe, her black goat. Today we have to find food, otherwise we'll go to bed hungry. Kobe would answer with a cheerful voice as if he understood. That day, under a scorching sun, Adissa set off for the market in the village of Noma to sell what she had collected in the bush. She walked for a long time, dust sticking to her feet. At the market, she set up shop under a mango tree, hoping to attract customers, but no one stopped. Passers-by barely glanced at her, preferring to buy fruit or colorful fabrics. That day she returned home, her arms empty and her heart heavy. When she arrived, she found Kobe calmly picking leaves. She sighed, "At least you're not hungry." She sat by the fire, pensive, wondering how she would survive without money. Night fell slowly and Adissa fell asleep, exhausted. In her sleep, a strange dream enveloped her. She was walking in a dense forest where the trees seemed alive. Their branches whispered her name, Adissa. Adissa. She walked forward, her heart pounding, guided by a light in the distance. Under a large palm tree, a man stood. It was her husband Skew, who had died 3 years earlier. He was wearing his old blue shirt, the one he loved so much. His eyes shone in the darkness. "I'm not far from you," he said in a soft but firm voice. Adissa reached out to touch him, but the vines of the forest wrapped around her legs, preventing her from moving forward. She cried out his name, but he disappeared in a burst of light. She woke with a start, trembling, her face wet with tears. Outside, the wind blew hard and Kobe came from the courtyard, his golden eyes shining in the night. Adissa wiped her cheeks and whispered, "Was that really you?" She didn't understand, but the dream seemed too real to be an illusion. The next day, she tried to concentrate on her tasks, but the image of her husband remained in her mind. She wondered if the spirits of the ancestors wanted to tell her something. In the village, stories were often told of spirits returning to guide the living. But Adissa had never believed these stories until now. She looked at Kobe, who was bellowing softly, and wondered why he seemed so different from the other goats. Was he more than just an animal? She dismissed the thought, telling herself that she was tired. However, the dream returned the following night, even more clearly. This time his knocks spoke to her longer. "Seek the truth, Adissa. It is closer than you think." She wanted to ask him what he meant, but the forest swallowed her up. Again when she woke up, her heart was beating fast. She felt that something strange was happening. Kobe, lying by the door, stared at her with insistence. Adissa whispered, "You know something, don't you?" But the goat remained silent. Adissa decided to remain attentive. She did not know what fate had in store for her, but she felt that a mystery was hovering around her, a mystery linked to her husband and this faithful animal. The day after the dream, Adissa woke up troubled. Her husband's words in the forest still echoed in her head. She went out to sweep the yard, but her thoughts were elsewhere. Kobe, as always, was there chewing dry leaves. Suddenly, she saw him do something strange. He stood up on his hind legs, trying to reach the pot hanging over the unlit fire. Adissa, surprised. "Kobe, do you want to cook yourself?" The goat fell heavily and ran away into the yard as if embarrassed. Adissa burst out laughing, but her laughter sounded nervous. She joked, "One day you'll talk like a man." Yet the thought troubled her. Every day she felt a strange energy around Kobe.
If you have not subscribed, please subscribe and don't forget to like and comment where you are watching from so that we can tag you in our next video.
He followed her everywhere, more attentive than usual. When she went to fetch water from the river, he trotted behind her, his golden eyes fixed on her. The villagers she passed joked, "Adissa, your goat is your shadow." She smiled. But deep down, she wondered if Kobe was more than an animal. When evening came, the sky turned red and a cold wind swept through the village. Adissa sat by the fire to pound chili peppers. The strong smell filled the air. Suddenly, a soft voice murmured, "Adissa." She jumped, dropping her pestle. She looked around. No one. The courtyard was empty, except Kobe, sitting by the fire. The voice murmured again, "Adissa, why do you cry when no one sees you?" Adissa's heart stopped. The voice came from the goat. His golden eyes stared at her, bright, almost human. She stepped back in terror. "No, it's impossible," she stammered. But Kobe spoke again, "Don't be afraid. I am your Kobe, but there is more than you know." Adissa ran into her hut, slammed the door, and covered her head with a blanket. "Lord, protect me," she whispered, thinking it was witchcraft. Outside, Kobe's voice continued, calm and insistent. "I mean you no harm. Just listen to me once." Shaking, Adissa clutched her rosary. She wondered if she was going mad, but the voice seemed so real, so gentle, like that of someone she had loved. She thought of her husband, of her dream. Was it possible? She took a deep breath and opened the door. Kobe stood there, motionless, his eyes full of sadness. Adissa felt her legs tremble. "For who?" she asked in a weak voice. The goat replied, "I am more than a goat. The gods sent me to help you." Adissa shook her head, refusing to believe it. But Kobe added, "The night your husband died, I was there. He didn't leave like you think." His words made her shiver. She wanted to scream, but her voice caught. She thought of the rumors in the village, of the spirits who spoke through animals. Was this a test from the gods? She whispered, "If you are a spirit, tell me what I should do." Kobe bowed his head, "Open your heart. The truth will come soon." Adissa stood there in front of the door, her heart pounding. Kobe sat in the courtyard, watching her with his golden eyes, full of sadness. His voice, deep and soft, still echoed in the cool night air. "The night your husband died, I was there," the goat repeated. Adissa felt a cold shiver run through her body. "My husband died alone," she cried, refusing to believe what she was hearing. Kobe shook his head gently. "No, Adissa, he did not die of illness. He was poisoned." His words struck Adissa like a thunderbolt. She staggered, leaning against the wall of salt. "Poisoned? No, it's impossible," she whispered, tears in her eyes. She remembered his beatings, weak, coughing, slowly fading away 3 years earlier. The healers had said it was a fever. She had believed it. But Kobe continued. "The poison sealed his fate. The gods have allowed me to reveal it to you now." Adissa fell to her knees, her head in her hands. "Who are you really?" she asked, her voice breaking. Kobe approached slowly. "When the moon is high, you will know everything," he replied before walking away into the darkness. Adissa remained alone, trembling. She looked at the sky, the moon, almost full, shining faintly. "What a strange world," she murmured, "where animals carry secrets." She returned to her hut, unable to sleep. Kobe's words swirled around in her head. Poisoned by whom? Why? She thought back to his beatings in his last days. He seemed so tired, so fragile. She had believed it was the will of the gods. But now a terrible doubt grew in her. She remembered the days before he died from his beatings. He had drunk palm wine offered by someone. She could no longer remember who. Was it important? She searched her memory, but everything was a blur. She thought of the villagers, their sometimes curious looks, their whispers. Had there been jealousy? His beatings were respected, but he had enemies. Adissa felt anger rising. If Kobe was telling the truth, someone had stolen her husband, her life. She clenched her fists, determined to discover the truth. The night passed slowly. Adissa prayed, asking the ancestors to guide her. She thought to her dream, to her beatings under the palm tree. Was it a sign? Was Kobe really a messenger from the gods? In the village, people often spoke of spirits taking the form of animals to speak to the living. Adissa had never believed it, but now she doubted it. She got up, lit an oil lamp and stared at the door. Kobe was outside, silent. She whispered, "If you are the spirit of his beatings, give me a sign." But nothing came. Dawn she went out. Kobe was there, lying by the unlit fire. He raised his head, his eyes shining. Adissa felt her heart clench. "Tell me everything," she whispered. Kobe bowed his head as if in thought. "The truth is painful," he said finally. "But it will set you free. Get ready, Adissa. The answer will come soon." Adissa raised her head, terrified but determined. She knew her life was about to change. Someone had betrayed her and she had to know who. The goat stood up and walked away slowly, leaving Adissa to face an uncertain fate. At dawn, Adissa opened Sot's door, her heart heavy. Mist enveloped the courtyard and Kobe stood there, his golden eyes shining softly. She approached, still shaken by the revelations of the previous day. The goat spoke in a calm voice. "Your heart seeks answers. Listen to me." It was not illness but betrayal. Adissa felt a lump in her throat. Betrayal? By whom? She asked, her voice trembling. Kobe stared at her through someone close. "Your sister of the heart, Naomi, the one who shared your home." Adissa stepped back, overwhelmed. "Naomi, no, it's impossible," he shouted. Naomi was his best friend, almost a sister. She was the one who supported him, who helped him organize the funeral. But Kobe continued, "Yes, Naomi, she loved your husband not like a sister. When he rejected her, she poisoned him." Adissa felt her legs go weak. She sat on a stool, tears streaming down her cheeks. "Kobe, no, not her," she whispered. Kobe approached, his voice soft but firm. "Do you remember the day his wife drank palm wine? Naomi had brought it, saying she wanted to thank him for his help. The poison was in that wine." Adissa searched her memory. Yes, she remembered. Naomi had come that day, smiling with a gourd of wine. The next day he was weak, all of a sudden, unable to get up. Adissa had thought he had a fever. He cried no. Kobe remained calm. Jealousy is a fire that consumes the heart. Naomi wanted him all to herself. When he chose to remain faithful to you, she couldn't stand it. Adissa cried, her memories mixed with pain. She saw Naomi again, always so kind, always there. Was it a mask? She asked, "How do you know all this?" Kobe replied, "The gods have shown me the truth. They sent me to protect you." Adissa wiped away her tears, anger rising inside her. If this is true, why did the gods wait 3 years? Kobe bowed his head. The gods act at their own pace. They gave you time to grow strong. Now you are ready to face the truth. Adissa clenched her fists. She wanted to scream, run to Naomi, accuse her. But she was afraid. What if Kobe was wrong? What if he was an evil spirit? Yet his golden eyes seemed so sincere. She spent the morning thinking, walking in the courtyard. Kobe followed her in silence. She thought of his blows, his laughter, his warm hands. She remembered Naomi's sometimes strange looks when she talked about his blows. Was it love, jealousy? Adissa murmured. "If this is true, I have to be sure." Kobe nodded. "The truth will come to you. Be careful. Naomi is cunning. She might come back." Adissa felt a shiver. She knew Naomi often came by, bringing gifts, wine. Was this a trap? She decided to wait, to watch. "I'll be ready," she told Kobe. The goat bell is softly as if to encourage her. Adissa returned to her hut, determined to discover the truth, no matter what the cost. Adissa broke down in tears, her heart broken by Kobe's revelations. Sitting in her hut, she whispered, "I thought it was my fault that I hadn't prayed enough for those blows." Kobe, still outside, replied in a soft voice, You have done nothing wrong, Adissa. The gods have allowed me to return to protect you. I am the spirit of your husband. These words made her shiver. She raised her head in disbelief. Was it possible? A goat, the spirit of her husband. She wanted to doubt, but something in Kobe's voice touched her deeply. She approached the door, trembling. If you are a blow, prove it, she said. Her voice cracked. Kobe stared at her, his golden eyes shining in the lamplight. You have a birthmark on your back in the shape of a half-moon. You always hid it, even from me, until I discovered it by chance. Adissa stepped back, stunned. It was true. No one else knew this secret, not even Naomi. Her tears flowed again. This time it really is you, she whispered. Yes, Adissa. The gods gave me this form to watch over you, but danger is near. Naomi will return soon with poisoned wine as she did for me. She wants to kill you now. Adissa felt fear invade her. Kill me? Why? She asked. Kobe replied, because you are the last thing he has linked to his crime. She fears that you will discover the truth. Adissa bent her head in her hands. Everything was clear. Naomi's frequent visits, her gifts, her two perfect smiles. Was this a plan? She thought back to the day after he had died. Naomi was still there, her teeth still, but sometimes Adissa caught a strange glint in her eyes. Was it guilt? She asked Kobe, what should I do? The goat replied, be careful, do not eat or drink anything she offers you. Pray for courage. The gods will guide you. Adissa spent the night praying, asking for strength and wisdom. She lit an oil lamp and poured some water on the earth, a ritual to call upon the ancestors. She felt a soothing warmth envelop her as if her blows were there. Dawn, she went outside. Kobe was lying by the fire, his eyes ever watchful. Are you ready? He asked. Adissa nodded. Yes, if Naomi is guilty, I will know. Kobe bashed softly as if to encourage her. She spent the day thinking. She remembered the words of her husband in her dream. Seek the truth. She decided to set a trap for Naomi. If she came with wine, Adissa would pretend to be naive, but she would remain on her guard. She whispered to Kobe, if you are truly my husband, help me face this danger. The goat bowed its head, its eyes full of tenderness. I will be there, it said. Adissa felt a strength, a new spirit filled her. She was ready to confront Naomi, to unmask the truth. The wind blew gently like a sign from the gods. Adissa returned to her hut, her heart resolute, awaiting the arrival of the one who had shattered her life. The next day, Adissa woke up with her heart pounding. Kobe's words echoed in her mind. Naomi, the traitor, would come with poisoned wine. She spent the morning preparing her hut, sweeping the courtyard, but her thoughts were elsewhere. She looked at Kobe, lying by the unlit fire, his golden eyes watchful. Be with me, she whispered. The goat bellowed softly as if to give her courage. Adissa knew that it was approaching. She would have to be strong, cunning to unmask Naomi. Around noon, a cheerful voice rang out. Adissa, my sister, it was Naomi, dressed in a brightly colored dress holding a gourd of palm wine. Her smile was broad, but Adissa saw a shadow, a flash of nervousness. Thought of you. This wine is so sweet. Taste it, Naomi said as she approached. Adissa felt her heart race, but she kept her calm. She remembered Kobe's words, don't drink or eat anything she offered. She smiled softly, you are kind, Naomi. Sit down, we will drink together. Naomi hesitated, her smile faltering. Oh no, drink first. I already had some at home, she replied quickly. Adissa felt her suspicion growing. She poured the wine into 2 wooden goblets, watching Naomi out of the corner of her eye. A strange, slightly bitter smell escaped from the liquid. No, my sister said to Adissa calmly, you brought it, we share. It's the custom. She handed a goblet to Naomi who was grazing. Drink with me, Adissa insisted. Her voice was firm. Naomi stared at the goblet, her hands trembling. My stomach hurts, she stammered. Adissa didn't give in, you were fine walking all the way here. Drink, Naomi. A heavy silence fell. The wind that had been blowing gently suddenly stopped. Kobe, still in the courtyard, raised his head. His deep voice echoed, making Adisa shiver. You killed me, Naomi, and now you're coming for my wife.
And just when Adisa thinks the truth is buried, it begins to rise. This chapter ends here, but the real story starts next. Subscribe and turn on the notifications bell because part 2 is coming, and what happens next will change everything.